Tech setup for our tiny yoga class. Hey, Billy. Good morning, guys. Hey, Joy. Um, like I said, I'm just getting set up for tiny yoga. Today, we are going to carry on with our mudra from Monday. I should stop talking until I get, let me get YouTube going as well and make sure that there we go, muted. Okay. All the tech. Hey, it's that easy. Good morning. Hey, Diana, how are you? Hey, Em. Okay, so we'll take a few slow minutes to get started. For those of you who are new here, hello, my name is Reverend Deborah. I am a movement facilitator, movement in breath, body, and being, and the owner of Move with Change. This is our tiny yoga class. I'm going to make the comments really big here. Unfortunately, there are no comment. Oh, there is a chat. There's the YouTube chat. Yay! We have chat available here on TikTok and on YouTube, so you can watch on either platform. I know some people prefer one over the other. So they're available. Yay! So this is our tiny yoga class, an exploration of the expansive, the infinite cosmos within this very limited living space, right? Everything, when I started this class, it was this idea, it was this concept of that genie in a lamp sort of thing, that idea that what did the genie say? Infinite cosmic power, itty bitty living space. And I felt like that many times living in a, RV or a tiny home or a small space and trying to get my yoga practice in and being like, I want to access this infinite yogic power, but I have such an itty bitty living space. I just can't do it. And I use it as an excuse. I use the limitations of my space, and I even use the limitations of my body as an excuse not to practice. Oh, I couldn't do that pose, or I can't do that on that mat, or I can't get down in the morning, or whatever it is. And then I started playing with chair yoga, with modifications, with taking my practice to a personal level so that it worked with my body and with my space, right? Good morning, Ryan. Hello, everyone. So find yourself the edge of your bed, edge of your chair, edge of your bench. I feel like I have this image in my head when we start tiny yoga of like people in all different places, and maybe it's not this expansive, but it makes me feel really good to think of like there's people on the edge of their bed and people in park benches and people at work getting to their edge of their chair, their office chair. You guys are gonna have to excuse the dog in the background. He has his frisbee inside, so you'll probably see him down here trying to get frisbee playtime. There he comes. There you are. Hi, dog. It's not time yet. No. Okay. One more minute left. One more minute. Ryan, I'm sorry to hear you're not doing well, hon. Thanks for sharing the live, Em. Guys, I always appreciate shares, comments, likes. They all help to kind of get things going in the algorithm, and I'm still trying to figure out how to get us all linked up. There's a kitten playing in a puddle outside. That's stinking adorable. Huh. How's your view? How's your view? Mine is kittens and puddles and moldy sunflowers. A bit macabre, but it's pretty nice. Yeah, Ryan, the flow we're doing today, again, we're going to be continuing from the Dhyana with the Dhyana Mudra. So this week, we started our week with Dhyana Mudra, and the Dhyana Mudra is done like so by placing one hand in the other. It is traditionally done by placing the right hand into the left. However, you can do either way. Go ahead and trust your intuition there. You can do it the traditional way with the right hand on top, or the other way with the left hand on top. Remember that the right and left represent our yin and yang energy, yin and yang energy, masculine, feminine energy. So just feel into that. Do whichever one feels more appropriate to you. Place that hand in the other one, and then you bring your thumbs together, not the pads of the thumbs to create like a triangle, but you want to bring more the tips of the thumbs together for the Dhyana Mudra. Hey, Joy. I'm seeing one. Why is my name on there? Oh, thanks, babe. Okay, so this is your Dhyana Mudra, and the Dhyana Mudra is considered a foundational mudra for anyone seeking to practice meditation or mindfulness practices in general. It is considered a basic and balancing, centering, bringing into balance the right and the left, the yin and the yang. Crystal, good morning. This is our tiny yoga class. So it's a little bit of meditation, but it's also a little bit of movement. And we're talking right now about the Dhyana Mudra, which we talked about on Monday. This is our mudra for the week, the foundational mudra for meditating. And I was thinking about tiny yoga and how to weave our movement today into this. And then I had kind of the aha moment and was like, what is the foundational practice for moving your body for asanas? Is the sun salutation. And it's balancing to both sides of the system. So we are going to sit, we're going to get into our bodies. We are going to do a couple of sun salutations, and then we're going to sit in this foundational meditation practice. And that will be our practice for today. So go ahead and Ryan, definitely sit with us for this practice, because that feeling, right, indicates an imbalance somewhere, right? So let's just go through this. Let's move through this practice in a way that can help bring balance. And remember, guys, if you have more room and you know how to do the full sun salutation on your mat, feel free to extend this practice to fit you, right? This is a tiny yoga practice. We're modifying yoga to fit in smaller spaces or smaller mobility, but you can also unmodify and do this practice as well in that way. So feel free to, again, just find the parts of this practice that work for you, that are available for you, as big or as tiny as you need. So find yourself the edge of your seat, and we are ready to get going, to get exploring in our tiny living space. All right, go ahead and bring your knees to a 90-degree angle. Hopefully that's available to you at the very least, and plant the bottom of your feet onto the ground. Plant your feet onto the ground. And for just a moment, I invite you to wiggle into your feet, wiggle your toes around, even if you've got your shoes on. Tilt your feet side to side, kind of roll them around really gently, not taking the feet off the ground, but just putting little bits of pressure into the toes, into the ball of the foot, into the heel of the foot, into the outsides of both feet, into the inside, through the bridge of both feet. Rolling your feet around, wiggling again your toes, pressing your toes into the earth to ground our bodies in this present practice. So go ahead, if you haven't already, close your eyes, and we will begin by taking 3 deep breaths to fully arrive. Inhale through the nose, pulling the breath through the lungs and into the belly. And let it go. Inhale again, lifting the heart and elongating the spine. And sigh it out. Inhale once more, expanding the rib cage in all directions, front, sides, and back. And release. And we'll begin at the top of the head, or we'll begin with the head. Go ahead and roll your head around in a few circles. Again, just kind of trust where you're at. We are not looking to overextend the muscles in the neck. We're just warming them up. Go ahead and change directions. Just feeling into them, becoming aware, becoming physically aware of the muscles in the neck. Bring the head back to center and tilt the head side to side, dropping the ear toward the shoulder, but keeping the shoulders relaxed. So we're not pulling the shoulder up to the ear. Back and forth. Gentle, slow. We're not in a rush here. Come back to center and tilt the head, chin down towards the chest. Inhale the chin all the way up. Exhale, chin down to the chest. Couple more times. Again, just feeling into the neck. No overextension. Just be present. Hello, neck muscles. Hello, head. That's kind of where we're getting into, okay? So let's move to the shoulders. And again, lifting the shoulders, and you can either roll them forward or roll them backward, wherever you feel like starting. This is about feeling into your body, where you're at, where your body leads even. Switch directions. Maybe even alternate directions. Alternate shoulders. Wiggle into those shoulders. Go ahead and wiggle your arms. Shake your arms out. Let your hands hang. Wiggle into your arms. Hello, arms. Good morning or good afternoon. Shake your hands. Give your hands a good wiggle shake. Wiggle your fingers. Open and close your hands with your palms up. Open and close your hands with your palms down. And then rest your hands, palms down on your thighs, and just rotate the torso. We'll do a couple of circles with the torso, sending your chest and rib cage forward to the side and then back around in one direction. Other direction. And if at any point you'd like to open your eyes or feel more comfortable opening your eyes, feel free to do so. I like to kind of get into my muscles and say hello to my muscles with my eyes closed. It helps me get into my body and release distractions. Come back to center. And windshield wiper your thighs or your knees, just dropping your knees back and forth, letting them create, again, just a real gentle pull in your thighs. You're not trying to overextend. We're not doing any sort of calisthenics or stretching here. We're just saying good morning. Hello, dog. My dog. Really? Get out of here. Go away. What a dog. Lay down. All right, bring the knees back to center, and then we'll move into the feet. Bring your heels up, feet up on your toes, the ball of your toes, and then drop your heels down, lifting your toes, trying to lift your toes up towards the sky. So I know you can't see my feet there on YouTube. So we've got the toes coming up like this, and then point the toes and lift the heels. Lift the toes, stretch the toes up towards the sky. Drop the toes, lift the heels. Toes up, heels up. Toes up, toes up. All right, back to center. So the sun salutation is modified a bit for chair. So again, feel into this. We're going to move breath by breath through each pose. One of the most powerful parts of the sun salutation practice is the simplicity, and is when we align our breath with each movement. We're using the breath to align both sides of the body and to bring both sides of the body into balance, to a centered, balanced place. So for the sun salutation in chair, first we begin by inhale, bring your palms together, placing your palms together at your sternum. Inhale the arms up for a slight back bend. Exhale all the way down to a forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway, lengthening the spine, extending the spine out through the head. Exhale, back down. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale at center. Then we'll bring interlace your fingers and either wrap them around the front of the knee or under the thigh. Inhale the right leg up. And exhale, forehead to knee. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, knee down. Left leg. Inhale that left leg up. Exhale, forehead to knee. And just come as close as is available to you. Inhale, back up. Exhale, knee down. Inhale, palms up, back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Extend the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, up to neutral. Exhale. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Spine extended. Exhale, curling the spine, forehead towards the knee. Inhale, upright. Exhale, the knee back down. Inhale, the left leg up. Exhale, forehead to knee. Inhale, upright. Exhale, knee back down. Okay, we're going to do a couple more rounds here. Follow along. Palms together. Inhale, hands up for a slight back bend. Use the space that's available to you. Exhale all the way down to forward fold. Inhale, elongate the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, relax. Inhale, lifting the right knee. Exhale, forehead to knee. Inhale, back up. Exhale that leg back down. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, forehead to knee. Inhale, back up. Exhale, knee down. Okay, we're going to do 3 more rounds. Follow your breath. I'm not going to cue here. I'm going to give you the opportunity to go at your pace. Really make sure that you are taking full, deep inhales and exhales. We are not racing here. We're not in a hurry. Everything else can wait while we do our sun salutations for just a couple more minutes, okay? So go ahead. When you are ready, bring your palms together to begin. Two more. Last one, full deep breaths, full focus and intention on your practice, each move. Breathing through each transition, allowing the breath to dictate the pace. When you come to your final exhale, I invite you to pause. Place your feet flat on the ground. Bring your knees back to 90 degrees. Bring your hands to your Dhyana Mudra. Again, your Dhyana Mudra is our mudra for the week, this foundational mudra of meditation, and is done by placing one hand in the other. Trust your judgment, right or left, and then bring the tips of your thumbs gently together. The amount of pressure here can be equated to the weight of a nickel, no more than the weight of a nickel, or just enough to gently hold a little piece of paper. The point here is not to create pressure. It is to keep this connection made here merely with your intention, right? Again, this is a foundational mudra for meditation. And I invite you to bring this mudra, just rest it in your lap, gently close your eyes and follow your breath. Inhale and exhale for just a few moments as we settle into our resting state of the practice. Follow the inhale all the way to the top. And the exhale all the way to the bottom. Keeping the lips sealed, breathing, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Allowing your awareness to ride on the waves of the breath, inhaling to the top, exhaling to the bottom. Take a few moments. And in this gently resting awareness, I invite you to offer your body a loving scan without the need to judge or to change anything, without shame or guilt, without creating a story around anything that you are experiencing in the moment. I invite you to just scan your awareness over your body. Do you notice any sensations, any areas that were tense that are now relaxed, any areas that were relaxed and that are now tense? A sense of balance in your right and left hemispheres of the body, a sense of calm in the mind. Allow your awareness to gently move through your entire being, just bearing witness, nothing more, nothing less. Keeping that mudra with a gentle awareness in your lap. It is so often that we forget that we are human beings, not human doings. And in our striving to do and do and do, we simply forget to be. We don't leave space for it. We don't schedule it into our planners. We don't set an alarm for it. We're so busy doing. And yet, this state of being, this state of rest, is a necessary part of the rhythm of life, just as the breath inhales and then exhales. We balance all of our doing with periods of simply being. As you scan your body, I invite you to offer a gentle smile to any sensations, to any thoughts, to any judgments or worries, any aches, any pains, anything that you perceive, that you bear witness to within yourself, or even distractions outside of yourself. Offer them all a gentle, loving smile. Take this moment to offer that gentle, loving energy to yourself, to every thought, sensation, and distraction, to every tiny hair on your head, every blemish, every scar, every doubt, every fear, every triumph, every loss. In this moment, offer yourself a radical kind of love, a revolutionary kind of acceptance, that kind of divine love that has no judgment, no fear, no exception. And just really soak it up. Take a big deep breath, breathe it in, fill your lungs and belly with that feeling of divine love washing over you, moving through you, filling every inch of you. And sigh it out. I encourage you to stay here in this practice as long as you would like. When you feel complete, I invite you to bring your hands together or simply lay one over the other over your heart in gratitude for today's practice, in gratitude for this divine source energy, this divine love that already flows through us, that already loves us, that is always available to us, that we can tap into at any point. Tap into simply by being with it. Offer yourself a little gratitude for taking the time to be with yourself today. And thank you so much for being with me. When you feel complete, feel free to give yourself some wiggles and some stretches before opening your eyes. Or if you're brazen, just like pop your eyes open and see what happens. I'm one of those slow flutter eye open kind of persons. All right. Hey guys, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for all the follows. Let's make the, hey Corey, hey June. Uh, that piece, I've been thinking about that in scheduling and creating schedules and new schedules, especially, right? Thanks, Billy, especially for the new year and all that stuff, and thinking about how to create my schedule in a way that feels good to me, that feels sustainable, and realizing that in creating that schedule, we really don't schedule in self-care. We really don't schedule in uh I mean, maybe some of us are learning too, right? I'm learning to schedule in my meditation, schedule in my long bath. You know what I mean? Like we forget so often to take the time to be in between the things. We instead just jump from this job, this thing to the grocery store, to that thing, to this thing. And it's really important to pause, to integrate. Even, the ocean has an ebb and a flow. Our bodies, our spirits, our energy, our mental process has an ebb and a flow. We are not perpetual machines. I don't know. I got some like steampunk images in my head going with some gears and perpetual gyro machines. And I'm like, but we're not. There's resting states. Oh, you are very welcome, Billy. I like the way you said that. Thank you for the space. Mm-hmm. Yes, please do schedule your meeting. Please do. So that said, for those of you who are new here or just joining, hello, my name is Reverend Deborah. I am a movement facilitator, movement in breath, body, and being, and the owner of movewithchange.com. Move with Change is an online community that we are building as a safe space to show up just as you are, no matter where you are on this path of coming home to yourself. If you are doing this work at all to any degree, it's a safe space. Because those of us who are doing this work of self-care and self-healing and coming home to ourselves and self-discovery, we know that it gets messy, right? Hey, Gigi, have a good day, Billy. We know that it gets scary, right? Like for those of you who done the shadow work or started doing the shadow work, where you realize that you have to look at things, you have to face things that are fucking terrifying and things that ultimately parts of you don't even want to look at all, right? So we have a space over there we call the Kaya Sangha. Kaya stands for Kaya, Caya stands for come as you are, because we do practice a radical kind of inclusion, a revolutionary kindness, approaching each other with curiosity and willingness to see the other side of the elephant, see somebody else for where they are in their shoes, and to really cultivate some of the skills that I feel like we've really lost as a collective, the ability to set aside judgment and really see somebody who's different from us for who they are, to see the wisdom and the experience that they have from their experiences in their life and see value in it, even if we don't agree with each other. I do also offer private classes, private coaching, private sessions, whether it be energy work or coaching or nutrition, or I do parenting consultation. What a friend of mine was just calling me. She's like, I'm just going to call you the specialist, because there's this big old toolbox I got back here from all these years of studying human development and wellness across the lifespan, of figuring out how we work, why we work the way that we do, and how to bring it back into balance. I came from experiences very early on that were very imbalanced and very unhealthy. And I guess I knew growing up that I had to go to school to figure out how to be a decent human, or I might not get there. So I spent 12 years in college, and then, have been in the field for over 20 years of just across the lifespan, from prenatal to postmortem. I've worked with individuals and families through so many different transitions, and I've been so blessed to be invited into people's lives during really private, really intense points in their life. And the reason I call myself a movement facilitator is because life has offered me so many opportunities for change, for transformation, for movement. It's as if the universe says, this is your shtick. This is what you're going to do. You're going to figure out how to adapt and adapt and adapt and adapt. And when things are going right, we're going to change things up, and you're going to keep things are going to keep going right, but it's going to be different things each time. And we're going to keep you on your fucking toes. Again, I used to think the universe was out to get me until I saw the value in being able to change when the wind, to bend when the wind blows, to adjust and to adapt when life does the unexpected. And life has been doing the unexpected for so many of us lately, right? I know so many of us have been experiencing unexpected changes in our lives, both external changes in our jobs and our relationships and things like that, but also internal changes with our belief system and our values and our perception of the world and each other. Hi, friend. So I've always called myself a Jane of many trades because I've developed all of these trades over the years. But the reality is that if I was a master of any, it would be a change, because there are tools that are needed that help us move more fluidly and gracefully through changes. And life is going to bring change. Life is going to give us the opportunity to change. And if we see it as an opportunity and can learn how to dance with it and flow with it in a even in a playful way, right? Like for so many years, I saw those changes as challenges, and I felt like I needed to challenge myself by facing all of these challenges. And I was just talking to my friend here last night about the shift that's happening when we're moving into this. Pluto is moving into Aquarius, right? So for those of you who follow that kind of stuff, it's a big energy shift in the way that we approach each other and our collective world and our collective reality and our shared experience. It's going to be a big shift, and I know that people are already feeling it. I know I'm feeling it, and it's really, that's the question as a human. Can you grab your board and can you ride the waves? Can you get your kayak out and can you paddle through these waves? You know, can we bend when the wind blows, or do we get uprooted and tossed away? You know, how flexible can we be? It is flexibility. Sorry, my brain went off to like studies about neurology and the way that the brain works. And sorry, side notes of my but it's important to take these little moments. Can we be the wind to push the sail? Yes, absolutely. I love analogy play. Thank you for the follow, friend. Please play with the analogies. This is the place to play with semantics, okay? I personally, to figure out how to navigate life, used the model of internal family systems. If you haven't heard of internal family systems, definitely go check it out. It's an interesting psychological theory that says basically we have different facets of self, right? The way that you show up with your parents at dinner is going to be different than the way that you show up with your friends at the bar. The way that you show up to your job is going to be different than the way that you show up with your partner, right? So we have these different facets of who we are that we use in different situations. So internal family system tells us that we can, or shows us how to basically create relationships with those different parts of self. And that if we sort of imagine them as characters, then we can have conversations with them. Then we can explore their personality traits and we can start to see them as separate from ourselves. It does a couple of interesting things. One, it gets us from the feeling of, I am angry. I am embodying my anger. I am embodying my trigger. It is all of me. It is who I am. I am identified with it, versus I am feeling angry, AKA I'm feeling like this character that gets triggered when something like this happens. I can now identify that trigger with a character outside of myself and recognize that it's a role that I'm playing in the moment, but it is not who I ultimately am. It's a really, really, really powerful theory, and it slides really well right into mindfulness work, where we sit in meditation and have conversations with these different parts of ourselves, right? Brilliant. We have conversations with different parts of ourselves. So for me, I have taken this way extra because I'm extra, and I've created a pirate ship. So on all of my characters for me are all these different pirates, my crewmates, right? And what was interesting is that when I started doing this exploration, I started naming the characters and I kept a journal and I'd write about them and I'd have conversations with them, just, talking about them, imagining scenes in my head that what would this character look like? The one that gets triggered every time, somebody aggressive comes to me, right? The one that's fearful or what have you, I don't know, whatever character. I would sit with that character and think about that character and think about all the ways that character shows up in my life and basically create more and more, give more life to this character. And then in those moments when that character was triggered, I can see it as a separate piece from me. And I can then choose to have a conversation with that part of myself. Like, Whether let's use road rage because it's a really nice one to use because it's one of these like triggers that happens like that for us, right? So let's say we've got Karen. I'm gonna name Karen. I'm gonna name my character inside of myself who road rages, right? I don't really have one anymore. I don't know where she's gone. She's got other jobs now, but we'll call her Karen, okay? So every time I get triggered on the road, Karen wants to come the fuck out and scream at people, wants to throw her middle finger up and wants to make a huge scene about it, only from the safety in the car, right? Because once we get out, Karen's gone and doesn't have shit to say. So we don't really like the way that Karen raises our adrenaline and like makes us sweat and makes our head feel hot. Like I don't really like the way that Karen handles that situation. But I have this character in me that when somebody cuts me off in traffic, I get triggered by Karen. Karen comes out, right? She's my trigger. So when I've created this character, now when I feel that feeling rise within me, I know that that is Karen trying to come out, trying to take the reins, trying to take the wheel of the ship and probably rear end the other ship that just cut us off, right? Because she's that mad. So when she starts to rise, now as the captain, it took me a while to find the captain. And now as the captain, I can see Karen coming up, storming up to the helm. And I go, whoa, 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 Karen, hey, you know what? Maybe it's an old lady and she's on her way having a heart attack to go to the hospital, right? Maybe it's somebody pregnant and there's a lady having a baby in that car. Maybe somebody's rushing to school. It doesn't matter why they did that, okay, Karen? Let them have their moment. Well, however, conversation depends on how you have the conversation with yourself. So that's how I have the conversation with Karen when she comes up when we're driving. When Karen comes up and wants to yell at another car on the road, that's usually the conversation we have. Hey, hold on. Because that's how I've developed a relationship with that part of myself. And she listens and she goes, fine. And she might snip for a couple of moments in my head, but I now have control over my reactionary state of being. Instead, I can choose to be responsive and I respond to my trigger by saying, hold on, that's not the wisest course of action and ultimately not the course of action that we're going to take. Thank you for your input. Thank you for your suggestion. But we're not going to punch him in the face. You know, we all have those thoughts, right? We all have those parts of ourselves that when things happen, we think things that we don't do. We say things that we don't mean. We behave in ways that we regret later on. But if we cultivate our sense of responsibility, our ability to respond, then we can find our captain. And then we put our captain in the driver's seat. And our captain has the compass. Our captain has the map. Our captain has the skill to actually drive this ship. If you're catching on, your captain is your higher self. Your captain is that quieter, wiser self who sees the trigger coming and goes, ooh, hold on a second. So funny, you just set up this box of fairy stuff. And there's a different character. Oh, nice. Yeah, you're very welcome, Alice. So again, use the analogy, right? Again, for me, it's a pirate ship. I love my pirate crew. Mutiny sometimes ensues, right? Sometimes I get strong-armed off the helm and it's not a perfect scenario in there at all. The captain is not always in charge and they do not respect the captain all the time. But use the analogy that works for you. Play with this idea in a way that feels so natural and so fun and playful that you can easily start to develop these characters, whether through journaling or just through thought processes and, playful whatnot. It's really, really powerful. And then when you sit in meditation, when those thoughts come up in meditation, remember that those are just those parts of you. That's your pirate ship or your fairy, crew or, whoever you choose to be in your internal reality. It's a really great tool. So there you go. That one's for you guys. You're welcome. It's a really powerful tool that I have used for many, many years. And honestly, it has helped me tremendously with things that were otherwise diagnosable and medicatable. Medicatable? Sure. Yeah. I was diagnosed with various, PTSD, bipolar, anxiety disorder, central nervous system damage, a variety of things, thoracic outlet syndrome, all related to PTSD and stress and anxiety and fear, and all related to the chaos that was going on inside of my head and inside of my body. It was to such a degree that I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia. The internal chaos was so intense that I was diagnosed with a physical ailment that was supposed to be for people later in life. Fibromyalgia at like 22 or 23. Why? Because there was so much going on within. There was so much fear. There was so much anguish. There was so much guilt. And there was so much shame. And there was so much self-hate. And there was so much. I was carrying so much. But this mindfulness, right? Internal family systems is the foundational theory, internal family systems. And I build upon it by creating the characters like that and using these characters that I've created in tandem with mindfulness practices. It wasn't just internal family systems. I went through years of talk therapy, went through years of different medications. I went through years of all different kinds of traditional Western therapies. One of the biggest takeaways was internal family systems. And I brought that and married that with my mindfulness practices. And I'm telling you, it changed my life. I posted yesterday because yesterday I had a rough day. So I posted something yesterday to kind of show you guys, because I try to show the balance, right? Yes, I'm sharing these practices, these tools. Yes, I'm doing these different mindfulness practices every single day for myself. But that does not mean that life is perfectly peaceful. That does not mean that the depression doesn't come back, that the anxiety doesn't pop up, that the fears and shame and guilt and doubt don't sneak in the back door and start whispering in my ear, You can do these practices, you can do these things and implement them. But here's the thing. Yes, I woke up with those things yesterday. In the past, they would have kept me in bed. In the past, they would have dictated my mood for the day. In the past, they would have changed the way I speak. They would have changed the way I look at my life. They would have changed the way I interact with my world, right? When depression and anxiety and things like this that are so heavy and so big and so fucking strong come through, and we feel like we lose ourselves. Mindfulness brings me back. Mindfulness brings me back every time. And this was the big, big, big thing for me, because in the past, depression would have taken over my day. Now, I meet my depression and I gather it up, the bag of bones that it is, and we come sit for mindfulness. And yeah, it does change the pace of my day. It means I have to sit with myself and be more gentle with myself. But I make that commitment over and over, because those days that are good are amazing. And I wouldn't give those up. So I have to meet myself where I'm at on the bad days too. Aw, Em, I do love you. Yeah, always. It's really important, you guys, I don't want to be the person on here who you just see as all shiny, happy, and rainbows and fucking unicorn farts. It's not. It's not. But the thing is that mindfulness is a life raft. Mindfulness is a tank of fresh air when you're at the bottom of the ocean. You might have to be at the bottom of the ocean to deal with the shit that's down there, but you don't have to drown. This is how shadow work works, right? Main reason you got out your fairy box is you were dealing with it yesterday too. Yeah. The tree that grows to heaven must have roots to reach to that reach to hell. Carl Jung. Nice. I haven't heard that one before, but I really like that one. Yes. There are times where life is going to bring us sadness and grief. There are times where life is going to bring us fear and doubt. We cannot avoid these things. These are the Buddhist tenets of like life is suffering, life is pain. Life is not suffering. Life has pain. Life has pain. We choose our suffering. Hey, tapping point. Hey, Byron, how are you? We choose our suffering. And that's a really, 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 really hard thing to hear when you feel victimized by your suffering. And I say that from a place of experience as well. How many years I spent being the victim of my own suffering. And it was just one of those moments, one of the right people saying it at the right time. I said a few minutes ago, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I was on multiple medications for things like PTSD, bipolar anxiety, and they were trying to cocktail me back to numb, basically. And I was 22, 23. And I went to an energy worker who said to me, tell me about your life. Tell me a synopsis, whatever it is. Like, tell me, tell me your life in a story. And I said, oh, it's like I'm climbing Mount Everest. And every time I think I see a plateau, I get there and it's really just another fucking ledge. And the mountain just keeps getting steeper and steeper. And every time I learn a lesson, every lesson is a brick in my backpack. And it just keeps getting heavier and heavier and heavier. And I'm so tired. I'm so tired of climbing. I'm so tired of being tricked. I'm tired. I'm tired. And there was a long pause on the phone because we hadn't even met yet in person. We were just talking about getting a session. And he said to me, no wonder your body hurts. You are creating the reality in your head that your life is a struggle and that everything you learn is heavy. He said, why can't life be a river instead of a mountain? Why can't your lessons be feathers or bubbles instead of bricks? And I remember the numbness that washed over me. The first time I heard that and really took that in, and the light bulb went on, but it didn't happen like a spark. It was like this warm feeling that washed over me when I realized that I was telling myself the story of my reality and was so committed to it that it was manifesting in my physical form. That's manifestation. Thanks, Erica. That's the kind of manifestation none of us want to be doing, but all of us do at some point in some fashion. And it's usually because we're unconscious of it, because we're not even aware we're doing it. I didn't even realize that I was I knew I was telling myself that story because I was telling that story all the time. To other people, to myself, in my journals, in my dreams, in my, so he set that statement, set the foundation for this later work, because then I saw my mind as a map. And he said, when we create this map of how we have to get from point A to point B, we create tools, or we use the tools that work. We use the roads that work. But sometimes when a road becomes broken down or a bridge burns or something, you can't get that way anymore. And you've got to do things a little differently. And you can rebuild these roads and these bridges with different scenery and different paving and build them stronger and sturdier, not the fucking rope bridges you're building yourself to get around, right? Rope bridges up high in the mountains. Like, he goes, throw that map out and just make a new one. Erica, it's all mind. It's not all mind, but it is all mind. And this is the point of the tiny yoga classes, right? Is this idea that within this limited physical space, literally limited space, is the infinity of the cosmos, is infinite possibility. And in there is our ultimate cosmic power. infinite cosmic power, is our ability to choose our experience in the present moment. And again, I've been there, that place of, I have no choice. I can't control this. I have no choice. Don't tell me I have a choice. I don't have a choice. I know what that feels like. And there's still choice in there. There's still choice in there. So use your fucking superpower. If you're stuck, if you're at the bottom of the ocean, if you're lost, if you're confused, use your superpower and choose. Here's the thing too. I'll leave you with this, okay? I'll leave you with this, you guys. That stuff that you're carrying, the bricks that I was carrying in my backpack, when I heard that thing, it wasn't like I just overnight could change the way that I talked and felt about my life. It took time. It took a lot of time and practice and like really putting energy into it. I won't lie to you. But what I found out, again, when I separated, when I recognized the awareness of what I was doing, I found out that just for moments, I could put down the bricks in my backpack. I could put down that backpack. And this is a practice that I really love to do. I've shown you guys before and I'll show you again. And I invite you to take it and again, be playful with it, explore it, do it in a way that works for you. So one of the things that I really like to do when I am feeling overwhelmed, when I feel like I've gotten back into that place where I'm carrying my lessons as bricks in a backpack, is I will close my eyes and I will go through the motions of taking off that backpack. Just taking a few breaths, inhaling and exhaling, feeling the weight of that backpack that I know I'm carrying right now with all of my worry and fear and doubt and shame and all this stuff that's been on me. I can feel it weighing down my shoulders. Put your intention there, put your focus there, put your imagination there. And when you're ready, only when you're ready, start taking it off, start putting it down. And you can go through the motions of pulling one arm out of the backpack, right? And pulling the other arm out of the backpack. And now readjust, close your eyes, take those deep breaths, and feel for a moment how much lighter you are. If my mind is so powerful that it can put an imaginary heavy fucking backpack on me in such a way that it manifests as physical ailment, then my mind is equally powerful to put that backpack down and give me a moment to breathe without the weight of that on my shoulders. And when I'm ready, I can pick that backpack back up. In fact, I don't even have to intentionally pick it back up. I'm pretty sure that these pirates up here will put a backpack on and start packing it up again, because that's what they do. It's what the mind is patterned and the body is patterned to be familiar with. And so I have to catch myself. Somebody put a backpack on me again. Pause. Take it off. Take it off. Take it off. I don't need that shame. I don't need those doubts. That fear is not mine. It's not fucking mine. It's not for me. Get it off. Get it off. When we approach ourselves and manifestation and our reality and our thoughts and our inner characters and our fears and our worries and our pains with playfulness, willingness, and curiosity, the opportunity to heal and to find even just momentary peace, it's exponential. I don't need 3 hours of practice every day. to heal my mind and body. I need tiny moments of mindfulness in the moment when my mind and body need healing the most. And I implore you to shift your perspective on this. Stop pushing yourself to fight with some mindfulness practice or yoga practice or whatever practice. It's the antithesis of the point of the practice. And start inviting that practice into your everyday moments, into your life, like it is your shadow. And that's how we make friends with our shadow. That's how we heal. That's how we heal. Not in these, yes, sometimes in huge occasions of healing. But most of our healing is going to be in tiny moments. Hello, friend. Sorry, I do not speak French. As a results oriented spiritual awakening is a contradiction in terms. Yes. 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 So that is the end of our session for today. Just a couple of announcements. It's tonight we have our subscriber only live on TikTok, where we do astrology live. It's our natal chart session. It's 2 hours from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. If you'd like to subscribe here on TikTok, you will get into that. You will be able to get in that live and we can talk about your natal chart. If you don't know what your natal chart is at all and want to know your astrology, come, we can pull up your natal chart. I'll show you what it looks like in the first place. Or if you've already heard about it, we can get in there and we can go deeper and we can look at all sorts of minor, major aspects of your chart too. So I love astrology. It's one of the many lenses that we can see our reality with. And I really believe that the more lenses we look through, the more whole picture we're going to get of our reality. So that's tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. I am available for private coaching. Oh, when you guys subscribe here on TikTok, you get a free month to our Kaya Sangha over at Move with Change. In the Kaya Sangha, we do twice weekly group coaching. We have a deep dive practice class on Mondays that expands upon the stuff we talk about in Bhakti Bites and Tiny Yoga. And it also is our practice space for our workshops. So every workshop that I will put on this year is free to members over at Kaya Sangha. And you also get discounts on all my private services as a member over there. So that is at movewithchange.com if you'd like to sign up there. If you want that free month, you can subscribe here on TikTok and you get the free month. If you have any questions about any of that, private services, signing up for the Sangha, yeah. You can send me a message. Please go follow me over on YouTube at Move a Change on YouTube. We're cultivating that channel. Thanks guys for hanging out over here on YouTube too. And what's the other thing? I feel like there was something else. Oh, we are doing our 40-day Kundalini Kriya. If you guys don't know what this is, if you don't know what I'm talking about at all, go check out my content, or you can go to the YouTube channel. We have the 40-day Meat Suit Challenge Kriya playlist there on YouTube, and you can get the videos for the entire practice. A Kundalini Kriya is basically kind of a recipe for rebalancing your energy body. And this particular Kriya actually works to increase, hey, Mighty Joe, thank you. Works to heal and reconnect the pineal gland and the third eye. It's a really, really powerful Kriya. It's one of my favorite Kriyas. I can't get enough of this one. I wish it was more than 40 days. I wonder if I can do it for more than 40 days. Maybe I could just keep doing it every day. If you want to join us for that practice, you can join us again on TikTok. All the videos are there on YouTube. They're all in a playlist. Or you can go to Move a Change, and at the nav bar on top, it says Meat Suit Challenge. And we're going to be doing multiple Meat Suit Challenges this year. This is just the first one, but it's self-paced. So you can go into the Meat Suit Challenge and it's completely free, that online program, and you can get journal prompts, reflection prompts that are really, really powerful and really help sink into this practice. This Kriya is the Kriya for addiction. also known as the Kriya for attachment. And by addiction, we mean any sort of attachment that has become an unhealthy or imbalanced attachment in your life, something that is causing suffering to some degree or another. So this Kriya, by way of strengthening the connection between the pineal gland and the third eye, assists us in releasing our attachments, our unhealthy attachments to things. So broke both my arms for this Kriya. I don't know, Emily, you got to tell me, was this one worse on the arms than the last one? The last one we did was a Kriya where you had to hold your arms like this for 9 minutes. That was 9 minutes. This Kriya, you got to hold your arms like this, but it's only for 5 minutes. I don't know. I kind of like this one. But it's a really powerful Kriya. I've done a lot of Kriyas that you can feel energy moving through you. Remember, these Kriyas work by redirecting the energy channels in the body, right? So I've done Kriyas that I can feel the energy moving, but this Kriya, the Kundalini, this one that we're doing right now is so powerful. It creates this kind of like circuit of energy that runs. I can feel it buzzing in my head. I swear I can almost hear it in my ears. It's a really powerful Kriya. So I encourage you to come join. I think we all have some kind of attachment, something that we are ready to let go of, something that has become unhealthy or causes us imbalance, whether it's external or internal, whether it's some shitty self-talk that you still have lingering in there, or whether it's a sugar craving that you just can't let go of, whatever it is, that attachment, if you're ready to let go of it, join us for the 40-day Kriya. Again, you can find the playlist on YouTube. You can go to Move with Change and click Meat Suit Challenge in the top nav bar and get the whole thing with the prompts and everything like that. And you can also join the community over there as far as the public side of the community. And share your experiences and chat with other people about the practice. So I am going to go now. I'm going to have some lunch and then I am off to coaching. If you guys have any questions, definitely send me a message. Again, either here on TikTok, here on YouTube, over at Move with Change at movewithchange.com. Paige, can you do the Kriya on your own from watching the videos on YouTube? Yes. So what there is on YouTube and on Move with Change and here on TikTok, all of them are there. It's just different organizational. Or organized differently, I should say. So what you get is you go to the first day of the Kriya and you get the instruction video that tells you how to do the Kriya. It's a very simple Kriya. And then each day I post a 5-minute, because it's a 5-minute practice, a 5-minute video that has a quote with it that's about releasing attachments, and a daily quote to reflect on, and has a cool little visual. The Kriya is done with your eyes closed, but I know that some of us are not always comfortable, or it's not always available for us to have our eyes closed. So I do put a visual on there in case you want to use it that way. The ideal way to do the Kriya is with the eyes closed, but all that gets explained in the introduction video. And then each day has a journal prompt with it to help you explore the practice much deeper. If you have any questions or need any feedback or want any suggestions on the practice or need some stuff like that, you can always reach out to me again at movewithchange@gmail.com, here on TikTok, there on YouTube, or over on over at movewithchange.com. There's a lot of ways to get in touch with me. Remember, if you subscribe on TikTok, you get the free month to the Kaya Sangha over at Move with Change, which includes weekly group coaching, which includes private classes, which includes discounts on all my other services, and all of that good stuff, and access to every single workshop I do. Next month, we are doing the energy hygiene workshop. I've been waiting to do this since last year. Energetic hygiene workshop about how to ground, clear, protect, and balance your energy body. It's a really powerful practice, very simple practices, and there's a lot of them. I think it's going to be a 2-week workshop, and I'm super excited about it because it falls right over Valentine's Day. So as a special for this next workshop that I'm doing, I'm going to include some intentional intimacy practices so that you can balance and ground your energy with a partner. So it can be something that you can enjoy for Valentine's Day. So that'll be starting the week of Valentine's. That week of Valentine's, we'll be starting that workshop. It's a 2-week workshop. So but it will be also at your own pace. All the workshops I do, I try to make them at your own pace. And then as a member of the Kaya Sangha, you can join us on our Monday session. If you want to practice together, get more information, we can talk about the information and go deeper in there. And that's only available to Kaya Sangha members. You guys are so welcome. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Thank you for sharing space with me. Thank you for helping to create some inner space space, bigger inner space. And thank you to you for taking care of you. You are absolutely fucking worth it. I love you guys so much. And I will see you tonight, if you're a subscriber, to talk about natal charts. And then tomorrow morning, if you're not, for Bhakti Bites. And I love you guys. Have a great day. Oh, now I got to figure out how. There we go. Okay. Love you guys.